9,673, PDP 9,339. We thereby demand a restoration of the coalition process in accordance with the Electoral Act and the INEC rules and regulations for this election. Any other illegal and unlawful actions going forward will be a violation of the will of the people and an abuse of the Electoral Act 2022. Thank you.
Was supposed to have been moved to the INEC head office. I also got reports from our agents that PDP agents were not allowed into the coalition process. At that point in time, I called the REC to find explanation as to what was going on. There was no response. I then went to INEC to seek to meet with the REC to try and understand what steps the INEC was taking to continue the process of coalition. When I got in there about 2 a.m., I did not see any coalition taking place. And the REC refused to come out to explain what the situation was. Subsequently, the DIG police, Frankumba, then came in and had a meeting with me where I explained that if INEC was postponing or stop the coalition process, then as part of their rules, they should inform the public or the citizens what next. I said at 3 a.m. there was no information from INEC as to what was going on or what was going to happen next. It was subsequently after my insistence and meeting with Mr. Frankumba that INEC now released a statement at about 5 a.m. this morning informing the public that coalition process will start at 10 a.m. this morning. So my going there was essentially to obtain information from INEC because they had refused to put any information in the public domain as to what was going to happen with the coalition process.
Excellency, Governor, you announced that some of these results don't think it's somewhat illegal and not your place to do according to
I I did not announce. I'm quite aware of the Electoral Act provision, and I did not announce results. I only informed the public on the exact figure from our collation agent that was ongoing before INEC disrupted the process and they moved the collation to the INEC headquarters, which is as well contrary to the INEC Electoral Act provision. So INEC should be accused of violating the Electoral Act, not me, because I have not announced any result. I only released figures that were ongoing as at the collation time that INEC stopped collation at these centers.
This sounds like one you stand before the state. As a political party, what is your lesson about?
It's quite unfortunate that in the 21st century, that all countries are moving forward with their electoral process. We're still moving backward. Powers that were not given to individuals were being exercised arbitrarily. REC is not supposed to collect results. He is supposed to conduct the election and oversee that the process is fair and free. Even at the local government and the ward collation, he is not a collation officer. Officers were designated to collect these results as provided by our Electoral Act.
I want to find out something from the DRC. I want to find out what the next move now will be for the PDP, because it appears that INEC is proceeding with the collation of results contact at this point. I think it should be just what we do in this part of time. Is it a position of the party to boycott what is happening there? Are your party agents, state agents going to be there? Are you going to boycott it? What's the next line of action?
Like we stated in our press release, our agents were prevented from even entering the center of the coalition, where they moved the local government coalition to the INEC headquarters. So we don't know if they will also allow our agents today. It has become clear now that we don't even have the powers to send our agents into the INEC coalition centers, because even if they do, they can be prevented from going in there.
But if our agents are allowed in, our agents are already at the premises and they're ready to go in. So they're not prevented like they were prevented yesterday. But from our perspective, the way these elections are going, they're probably going to be the worst elections in the history of this country. We have information, for instance, where we have over 20 polling units, where the votes, the accredited voters, are less than the total votes, which is not possible. We have over 20 polling units from the results that were announced yesterday, where from their unaccredited voters, the total votes that they've now announced are more than the accredited voters. I'll give you an example. If you look at the Kubaha logo, they have there the voters that were accredited. The figure they put there is nil, which is not possible. But that gives room for all kinds of shady behavior. They now specify there that the APC had 227 and the PDP 103. What's the basis for that? If you go again to another Ekobaha logo, they have the number of accredited voters, 156. The total number of votes for APC, get this, 2,110. And for PDP, 57. And for LP, no votes. But the total accredited voters are 156. And we have 20 such units here. There's something definitely going wrong. There's a result writing scheme going on, and it's totally unacceptable. This process is unacceptable. And then they're trying to disenfranchise our coalition agents. Like His Excellency read, at every point you find APC and their cause supported by people dressed as security agents going to shoot at polling agents and disrupt processes. This is not acceptable in the 21st century, definitely not in Nigeria. I think we've got way past this.
One more question, sir. The Electoral Act gives INEC the powers to review certain elections where the voting codes. Is it your specific demand to INEC as the about to commence the collation to review what you perceive to be overvoting, the differentials between numbers of accredited voters and the actual scores given at the end of the day? Because we saw something similar to this, which the PDP raised objections to at the presidential election last year at the National Commission Center, were allegations of discrepancies between accredited numbers and voting numbers. How do you like this kind of demand, or what's the demand that you can make of that, and what happens if you don't accede to your demand?
All we're asking from INEC is to follow their rules. REC has no business to announce results. REC has no business to move collation to INEC headquarters. This is our stand, and we'll go back and consult.